I may have just played the best horror game of 2022. I'm going to tell you why I think Anglerfish is my horror game of 2022 and give you 5 reasons why you need to play this game right now. You're a burly man in a schoolgirl outfit, ready to go to Anglerfish, a local bar, where you go on a night out with the boys to see who can get as many numbers as they can and become the groom's best man. On the surface, it seems like a dating game, but lift up that burly man's schoolgirl skirt and this game is brimming with death, gore, comedy, and many video game and movie Easter eggs. I want you to count how many references you see in this video. I'll give you a hint. It's a lot. Every time you die in this game, the game saves and you start all over again. But it brings us to reason number 1. Every time you die, something changes in this game. Your playthrough could vastly be different than the one that you watch in this video. Every death, the game changes, which could send you down a different path and keeps you coming back to see what else you may experience on your next playthrough. There is a very important choice that we need to make at the start of the game. Donuts. Delicious, moist donuts. 3 kinds: pink frosting, chocolate with red sprinkles, and blue sprinkled donut. Whatever we choose, something special will happen 3 times in this game. We end up with a blue sprinkle. And what does this donut do? Only playing through it once, I couldn't tell you what the 3 things were because a lot of things happened in this game that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. We see our big burly man wearing a skimpy little schoolgirl outfit with a cat mask who is waiting for his buddies to pick him up. While we wait, we can browse some games to play, but each game gives us a reason to why we can't play them. Download in day 1 patch, come back when you turn 100, as well as some voiceovers of less players we can choose from.
Hello.
What the We exit our place and hop into the car with our friends who are looking pretty wacky in their outfits as well. It's not just us, and quirky little music starts to play as we drive down this road. The game's intro is setting a pretty comical tone until this happens. This is an interesting look. A stark contrast to the silliness that opened with the game, giving you a bit of sense of dread. We arrive at Anglerfish, a bar for a lookalike Thursday with our friend and the groom who is getting married. The game is simple. Whoever collects the most numbers at this bar becomes the groom's best man. Nothing like a little manly competition to get the testosterone flowing. A fine looking blonde in a red dress walks by. She is our main goal in this game as we must search Anglerfish and try and get her number. Now that I'm thinking about it, this might be a little reference to the Matrix. There's a dog outside that growls if you try and pet it, no matter what you try and do. Hello. And sometimes it'll change after each death. The dog could be wearing a top hat, or the dog could be a human dressed as a dog. But if you play your cards right through this game, you will be able to pet this dog. Honestly, that should be the goal of this game because it is so damn hard and I failed. Entering into the bar, you'll notice that there's a lot of people who look really familiar, bringing us to reason number 2, Easter eggs. There are a ton of Easter eggs in this game. From a girl who looks like Ripley from Aliens to a whole plethora of movie and game Easter eggs. This was one of the enjoyable things about this game. Working your way through Anglerfish, finding these little Easter eggs spread across the game, from movies to games. It does make you want to search out and discover other wacky iterations of your favorite game and movies. And it's not just characters, but also music. We make our way into the bathroom, someone in a stall having hot acidic poo-poo caca, and we get our first number written on the bathroom wall. Not sure whose number that is, but you know what? We'll take it. There's also a lady dressed like the bride from Kill Bill who generously gives us some lipstick. Our outfit is now complete. There is a use for the lipstick, I believe, but I didn't figure it out in this run. There are a lot of secret items and characters in this game that you will have to figure out that can lead to different outcomes in this game and different experiences. You might play the game and discover something with that item, or you might not use it and not discover it, and it'll lead you down a different path. We're about to leave when we hear the bells toll 3 times. That's when all hell breaks loose. Demonic demons fill the bar as they try and mutilate us. Ah! Run! Our head being removed from our body. Not the kind of head I was hoping for in a bar. Death by demons or whatever. And you thought this was a dating game. It is to a sense, but picture more Evil Dead meets Dusk Till Dawn. And now we're dead, so we start all over again with that red lady walking into the bar. And the cycle repeats in this hellish nightmare. So in order to beat the game, you can't just leave. You got to explore Anglerfish and uncover its secrets. We have shears now, cutting the crud off one of the doors doors, and inside is a broken down bar and also our trusty boomstick. Groovy. This is your weapon. Hold it close to you. Be prepared to blow off some monster sacks. The dead is no match for us as we work our way down into the cellar, and beneath Anglerfish is a giant labyrinth. Demons roam around, traps and puzzles you'll have to solve to advance further to uncover even more and get that coveted hot babe's number. In order to advance through this part, you'll have to come face to face with the first trap, the roots of death, which will rip your butthole apart and display you for all to see. And it poked me in the bum. Oh, it got me! Which brings us to reason number 3. Dying is kind of fun. There are many unique ways that you can die in this game, each one more insane and gruesome than the last. And you can kind of collect these deaths since there is a room that you can unlock which shows you how you've died through this game through stone statue form, which kind of makes dying enjoyable. Many times I was going through this game looking for different ways that I could die so that I can unlock that stone statue. And the deaths in this game are pretty funny and pretty visceral. After getting our insides made into a stew from the roots, we restart, and so begins the question from the talking dog. Each time you die, the dog will ask you a series of questions. Some insightful. If there is a jar or pot on a table, then you cannot shoot what is on the other side of the table. Some just random and kind of obscure. Are dogs better than cats? But be warned, because if you answer wrong, well then the puppy will get upset. And you don't want to do that, because you'll break his heart, because it's so sad. We browse around at the beautiful girls, collecting a number from Seakana. Each girl is their own kind of puzzle that you have to solve in order to get their number. A girl wanting a drink seems easy enough, but we are cock-blocked by one of our friends. So now we have to figure out how to make him move. Or do we remove him entirely from the situation? We find a girl throwing darts and get her to throw one at him, taking out the guy. What the Of course, so simple. A very comical way to get a girl's number. This game is kind of reminding me of Lakeview Cabin with the kind of emergent gameplay. It kind of has the same goofy comedy and the little puzzles that you have to solve, and it's also pretty challenging, especially as you get further. It doesn't hold your hand, which I kind of enjoy. With the power of a good beer, we try our hand at the labyrinth once again, blowing past those damn roots, finding a lever leading into the next room, creepy music, elevating that atmosphere. The soundtrack in this game is very well done. Some of the tracks resembling Resident Evil to Silent Hill, but how they use the background music at certain parts in this game really elevates key moments in the game. It'll creep you out, it'll make you sad, or it'll fill you with so much testosterone that you just want to shoot shit. Music for me really makes or breaks the game, and this game has phenomenal music. We find a gnome hiding in a pot. There are several gnomes hidden around the game, to where if you collect them all, you unlock a giant chest filled with goodies. The sound of the music is getting ever so closer. Let's try and be a little bit quiet. Shh. Ah! The smallest sound in death. Not gonna lie, that really got me. There will be moments in this game where you have to be very quiet, avoiding things on the ground, not to make too much noise, trying to be a little shifty, or even choices that you'll have to make that could either lead to death or other surprises. Ah! We kill the gremlin, and to our horror see the chopped up remains of one of the girls. I can only assume that this gremlin or demon thing was making her into a meat pie. There are quite a few disturbing visuals in this game, really taking notes from Evil Dead. Now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of Evil Dead references. The horror, the slapstick, the absurdity. It's done all so well to craft this dark, comical game. A black void fills our screen as we keep moving through this labyrinth. We have to make our way through this little maze in the dark, collecting fireflies until we can light the place by stuffing them into a lamp and unlocking a door, which leads into a long passageway with the figment of the red dressed girl. We're on the right path, and it's crazy what some men will do to get a girl's number. A man is entangled by roots, his body slowly being drained. What happened, sir? Do we help this man, or do we just kind of leave him be and be like, hey bro, good luck? We decide to be a nice guy and kind of release him from life. But in doing so, well, we die. Our gun room is now taken up by the refurbished bar with a man standing behind it. Can you guess which movie this is from? And a gnome chest, showing 3 more to go till the chest is unlocked. We can come in here and reset each time and get our gun. And if we want to, we can try new drinks that the bartender makes for us. We don't really know what they do until we drink them. Poison. Was not expecting that. I do not recommend the poison one. This game really does a good job at kind of trolling the player throughout the entirety of the game. These drinks are just one example. There are many doors you can unlock in this game which are shortcuts back to where you were previously, which is great because it cuts down on the travel time. And honestly, if the game didn't have this, well, I feel like it would be a little redundant then, going through the same things every time you die. And trust me, you're gonna die a lot. Oh God, what? My head! We don't kill the rooted man this time, but leave him to suffer. Screw you, root man! Another puzzle where we have to memorize the pattern. First time is easy, but trust me, it does get harder and stupid crazy when it tries to make you remember like 9 to 10 sequences. I've got a terrible memory already. That's just not gonna work for me. If you fail, well, then you get turned into stone by Medusa. Through the door is a vast catacomb with sleeping gremlins, and a break room where you can take a bath after a long day's work. Ah, so relaxing. You'll notice break rooms throughout the game. These are kind of like little resting places, but also play a very important role in the game as well, which we'll get into in a little bit. We see the sexy red dressed girl. Sexy girl! The blood flowing to her head makes us chase after her without hesitation, which leads us to being jumped by 2 demons. Well, at least we can try a new drink. A giant cup of coffee which inverts your controls. My brain can't handle this. I feel like I've been bamboozled. This sucks. Many of these drinks will change the game from inverted controls to headless gameplay, which impedes you from interacting with objects. And some of these drinks even make you so high that enemies become candy. That is so wild. Or your gun sounds like a duck when you shoot it. Boozled. The inverted controls end up getting us killed and turned to stone, which is a good thing because inverted controls are a nightmare. I'd rather play this game with my toes. Being careful, we take out those 2 gremlins and find a door with a secret code. This code is hidden on the developer's webpage. We enter through the door and end up in the back of a crashed ambulance in some kind of hospital. How the heck did we get here? Does this mean anything? The lights are out and the stench of death fills the air. Some kind of parasitic egg is hanging off the wall. If there's one place that gives me the creeps in real life, it's a hospital. This game does feel like a fever dream at times, throwing you from one place to another place with all this like weird obscure stuff happening to you, people transforming into monsters, ripping your head off, a vast labyrinth beneath a bar that you have to solve puzzles through. It's all a lot. We unlock the doors and start to explore this hospital. In the distance we hear chewing of some kind, a small reptile creature eating human remains. We try and become friends with it, but it chases us back into the main lobby where we see that giant egg. It has now hatched, and whatever was in that egg is probably somewhere in this hospital. A demonic laughter echoes throughout the building as we enter into another hall. Blood-curdling screams from behind a door as a woman is pulled into the darkness. She might be dead. Slim chance. Maybe. She's probably dead. In a blood-soaked room filled with dead bodies and a spine blocking our way, bringing us to reason number 4. This game has variety. Anglerfish is a funny game. It can be funny, but at times it can also be downright horrifying. It really leaves you on edge a little bit with what's gonna happen next. Bodies torn apart, people being dragged off into the dark, never to be seen again. Hideous creatures that feel like they're straight out of Silent Hill, but it's also funny, making you laugh because of how ridiculous this game is. Kind of really like alleviating that horror intention a little bit. And it does a really good mix of both. The variety in this game is pretty great. A zombie is eating the guts of one of the residents, where our gun lays. We risk everything for the gun and blow his ass away. We backtrack and use our shotgun to get by the spine and find an abandoned dog. Oh, don't make me kill the dog. And the question comes up here, do we kill the dog? Because he could be holding a key that we need to get out of this place. Or maybe he doesn't and we just leave the dog be. The game could be messing with us. So far it's been messing with us a lot. Like, why is this dog still alive while everyone else is just mutilated and dead? I like to say that we left the dog. That was all for nothing. Who's the real monster in this game? We are. How does a game make you feel like a piece of crap? By doing this. You know what? Let's not talk about this. Let's just move on. We can now kill that little reptile thing in the first hallway and progress. A giant monstrosity breaks down the wall behind us and begins to chase us. Brown streaks are now left on the floor, but we make it out with our sanity somewhat intact. The hospital was a really unique and tiny little horror experience. I can't really shake the feeling that maybe it has something to do with our main guy's psyche. Were we really there at the hospital, or was it kind of like a hallucination? There had to be a point. Anglerfish really does a good job at kind of like stringing you along while you try and figure out what's happening in this game. We find another little puzzle with a wooden planks, acidic water, and ducks. The light turns out really fast, so you can't see the planks unless you shoot the ducks, which resets the lights. Through the door, we find our main guy's living area, pictures of him and his son fishing, and his wife with a crack down the middle, symbolizing they aren't together anymore. The more we venture deep into this labyrinth, the more of the backstory we uncover of our character, and what may have happened between him and his family. Maybe this bar is more of an exploration to the guy's mind, possibly battling his demons. Another gnome is found hidden behind the chair. 2 more to go. We find another break room that's an ice cream shop. Very random spot for an ice cream parlor. We enter the code, which can be found in a free game called Hunter Hubbard. Entering the code, we get a fast glimpse of our character and his son having ice cream together. There are many parts in this game that will recall a memory of our main character. He had a life before this, a pretty happy one. But in order to find these memories, he must battle through all these demons. And each break room is like its own happy memory. Then outside those happy memories is just crap. This was where the point where I figured out, yes, we are in this guy's head, and this bachelor party might be the night where he may have messed up, but the question is, what did he do? And was that blonde in the red dress involved? We find an office space in the next room, and there is a gnome in here, hiding. I'm assuming this office space is our guy's workplace. Finding his desk with family photos and a picture of him and Tintin? Out of all movie references and TV shows, I was not expecting a Tintin one. The next room houses something monster-like. Behind a cage, a rock protruding from its back, and the sound it makes is somewhat eerie. In the cage is something, no entrance to get in, but who'd want to? Not with that thing in there. There's a door with our donut that we chose at the start. Finally, we'll see what it all means. Inside is a key and a trap. Oh god, not more roots and butterflies that slow your movement, so be quick or you're toast. We exit and it's quiet. That monster has now escaped. The bar is bent back like they're nothing, but we can get that coin now. Mistakes were made! A trap! Again, this game messes with you. If we didn't get that thing in the cage and die, then I'm sure something else would have happened. We have to get the key again, but this time we avoid inside the cage. But it doesn't matter, as we're chased through the office by this giant rock monster as it plows down the cubicles. You'll have to be fast as chairs pop out to block your path as you try and exit, but we make it. And with that key, we unlock a door that was chained up. Make your way through a maze and find another room with your wife who's a corpse holding your infant son with a gift from you and an evil weight hanging over a button. Wonder what this button does. I gotta check. I wanted to see if I could be faster. Tack on another unique death. As soon as we walk back in, we are attacked by demons. No gun, so we run. I don't have a gun! And find it in another room, where a horde of these things come rushing at us. Oh my heart. Another break room and a happy memory on a lake where we can fish. And we get another memory of a son and father fishing together, just like in the picture. Do not stop fishing though, because there's things in this lake, like another gnome. And well, if you keep going, then you'll get pulled into the lake and die. What the f? Fishing is so dangerous, and I wouldn't recommend it. With the final gnome, we unlock the chest, unveiling shoes and flowers. Anytime you see these flowers, they are power-ups that can make you run faster. So it's a pretty neat little find. With extreme speed, we get back to the break room and follow another door leading us to one of our friends, the groom. In order to open this door, we have to sacrifice somebody. Use their blood. And Jarek, according to the groom, must be the one to die. Or we just kill the groom. Don't give me your weapon. No! Which we do, then we use his blood to open the door. You'll find yourself back here many times, killing the groom, and there's a point to where if you keep killing him too many times, he gets exhausted from all the times you've killed him. So he'll actually do it himself. Well, I finally get this girl. I am shooketh, which is a little dark. And it kind of makes you feel a little bit bad for murdering him so many times. We find our beautiful queen that we've been chasing all game, laying asleep on a bed, much like Sleeping Beauty. Finally, the chase is over. Save you!
Well, shit.
But the game pulls a fast one on us. It's not her, but some other version. Her chest bursts open, devouring us, much like the Thing. And now we're this rock monster, because why not? We kill the groom again to get to the final boss, the girl in the red dress. An intense battle begins with the succubus from hell. The boss battle is pretty tough, different phases and attacks you have to avoid, and you must be very fast with your gun or it's death. Another phase is where you'll start giving her health. Well, do we keep shooting her or do we stop shooting her? We eventually defeat the lady in the red after exploding the health bar, and we get the key to exit. The doors leading back are locked, so we have to search the break rooms to find the keys. But the break rooms have become bleak and cold. The lake is now cold and snowy. Something in the lake is guarding the key to a door. The ice cream shop is abandoned and broken. Steve from Stranger Things is mutilated in his ice cream outfit.
Steve! Stranger Things!
With a key in his corpse. A creature now in the bathtub guarding another key. And a trap in the catacombs as demons start to rain from the sky and chase us through the tunnels.
Oh, I'm scared.
These happy memories that we had are now tarnished, just like the rest of this place. At this point, I just want to survive and get out of here. And we make it!
I got the key! What the f?
For no reason, our head goes boom, resetting us. Guess we lost our head a bit. What was the purpose? Maybe we did something wrong that led to this? But since we died, something changes in this game as we walk back into the bar. Everyone that we knew in the bar is now mutilated beyond recognition. Blood is everywhere, bodies hanging off the ceiling and stapled to the walls. We keep working our way back to where the boss is, but we keep getting a glimpse of something else. Some figure following us, which now resides where the lady in the red dress was. You'll have to make your way back here quite a few times. The game laughing at you literally with its soundtrack. But this time, if you die, you start back to where the boss was. And weird things just start to happen as you make your way back to the exit. And we beat the game! But wait, the dog tells us to do it one more time. Walking through the door, we are transported to our main guy talking to his psychologist. And the secret of what's really going on here is revealed. I knew this was some deep-seated issue inside our brain. In order to have a breakthrough, we must go back in and defeat our demons. So we gotta do it one last time. But this time, everything is slowed down when you fight. You have a shield and it's a lot easier, probably because we aren't afraid anymore of our own thoughts. The roots that killed us now are flowers that spawn. Little words showing up now about being a bad husband or father. This journey back through is a very self-reflecting moment of our main character, showing what happened to him and his family, being a shitty husband, cheating, regretting what he did, which kind of makes you realize that maybe our main character cheated on his wife with the lady in the red dress, the blonde, which ultimately split his marriage as we saw in the picture, and then ruining his life. This game is pretty deep. And the last time we defeat the girl in the red dress. It was all a dream based on our main guy's past trauma. Now we can live a happy ending, which brings us to reason number 5. The story. The story of Anglerfish is a deeper one than I expected. It's a journey through this man's psyche, battling his demons, uncovering his past trauma, having to face them multiple times, and coming to terms with him cheating on his wife, being a bad father, and feeling so alone because of what he did, while also finding those little happy moments in his life, and to begin the healing process. Anglerfish has to be one of the more enjoyable and interesting experiences I've had with a horror game, or I guess a game in a very long time. And I'll honestly say that it's probably my favorite horror game of 2022. That's a big statement, but I enjoy this game so much. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. Maybe you'll encounter a totally different experience than the one I had, and maybe you'll find that T-Rex in the bathroom. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this video next. Like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next spooky video.